you said something, you don't want to sound like a robot. You know, robots' feelings aside, as if there's something terrible about sounding like a robot. Because, when our robot overlords start doing everything for us, you're going to be on a timeout list, just so you know, for saying things like that. So better be careful. I have to tell you,
I
at
know
some
how
point,
to
100
sound.
years from now, all jobs will be done by robots. We'll all be just kicking it back, you know, enjoying our free time. But there still will be the sales job because somebody's going to sell those robots. But so we don't want to sound robotic. And when I think about, I get it, right? So um, if I, you know, solar panel, maybe if you had like a keyword, you're going after like expert solar panel installation technician, right? You know, and I
It's a
wanted
very long. It's a very
it
long
is right, but
time.
they're looking only for the best solar panel
Yeah.
installation technician, right? They don't want to work with ones that aren't that great. So, but if you tried to take that long phrase or something like that, like, oh yeah, maybe there's a ton of traffic for that. What was another one we saw, like solar panel broken? So that's something that people search for, something like 210 monthly searches. So if I had like a page on my site, I'm a solar panel company and I want to help people who have solar panels that aren't working and want to get them repaired, I, I wouldn't have a landing page, I'm guessing, that'd be like, we can help you with solar panel broken. Get in touch with us today. I'm like, that wouldn't be a very good SEO, would it? Or would it?
Um, that's a really good point, because the way we do search, the way we search a lot of times is a very robotic way. Like we look for Dennis Denver, but like you'd never use those words in that way in content ever, because it doesn't make sense.
Well, 'cause
Um,
we know we're actually like trying to work with a robot, right? Like Google's a
yes,
robot, AI, whatever. So, I mean, I remember reading some articles in recent times that Google's trying to make natural language search more of a thing and make it work better. But
that is very true.
we haven't really caught up to that yet, have we? I mean, not us, but I mean, like, is it really getting there?
When we're searching, no, but the all the voice searching, like when we talk to our devices or we talk to our Google Homes or Alexa or Siri,
Hmm.
we don't talk to Siri that way. We don't talk to Google that way. We don't say Google, or I'm not going to say it because my Google devices are going to start talking to me, but we don't say the keyword and then find me dentist Denver. We'd say find me the closest dentist or something like that.
You should hear me
So
try and get directions for my daughter's swim school, right? Like, there's a great one down. It's like, I'm like, I use my phone or my phone, my Apple Watch, right? So I'm just like, give me directions to Dolphin Splash Swim School in Parker, Colorado, right? Like, I
exactly,
do
but
that
that's
because
natural language.
it didn't sound very natural the way I do it. I sound very robotic because I feel like this is what I need to do to ensure it works properly, right? So, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is like, I feel like on some level, I have this intuition that I need to be robotic in it to ensure like I get a successful search result. But when I actually, like if we get to like the actual page of the website, if that is how it's represented back to me, I'm going to be worried, aren't I? I mean,
Yeah. And there's a lot of different things you can do to not do that. The good news is Google is really, and I always say Google when I really mean search engines in general, but Google obviously is like the innovator and is kind of ahead on certain things for the most part. Um, so being able to read and analyze that natural language, even from an AI standpoint, is something that they're really striving towards. And I know everyone talks about like, oh, they're hearing everything you're saying. And while it's true, the AIs, they're also analyzing how we use language and how that language is interpreted. And it's terrifying, I know. And we won't go into that too much just because that can be a whole series in itself. But,
a future
but
digital strategy chat, how to not have Google listening to everything you're doing.
um, so, and one of the ways that you can achieve that without sounding robotic is, and I've mentioned actually in the last one we did, you talk about your business all the time. Like if you have a business, you talk about it constantly. You talk
Mhm.
about it to your customers. You talk about it to yourself, probably. You draft things about your business. There's things on your website that already go over your business. I'm sure if you have a storefront, there's stuff up that's talking about your business. So my advice to not sounding robotic in your site content and your social content is to just write it naturally first.
Mhm.
Just write it how you talk about it, how you talk to your clients about it. Just write it out exactly as you would. And then from there, you can use your keyword lists, go back to it. And what you'll probably find is that you're already using a lot of those keywords
Mhm.
in your directed content. Although if you're not, you also might find that it's very easy to take the words that you have been using and sub out those words for your crafted keyword set. And at that point, it becomes a very natural process. And it's really just as easy as like, oh, I use the word put solar panels in content, and I can, that's a weird example, but I can sub it out for solar panel installation. And so it in that way, I mean, there's really no way you can sound robotic if you're writing it as you normally would
Mhm.
beforehand, and then you go in and put in your crafted keywords, and it's really just about as natural as it can be. And then from there, you not only have really good content that sounds like you, but it's also content that's going to appeal to your clients and appeal to customers and also appeal to Google.